Imagine a world where the course of history is changed not by power or conquest, but by a child born in humility and a man who conquers death itself. What if the greatest celebrations of the Christian faith are rooted in stories of hope, love, and a promise that even darkness cannot extinguish the light? Every December and spring, millions gather, sing, and remember. But why? Why do Christians celebrate Christmas and Easter? Stay with us as we journey to the heart of these timeless festivals, unraveling mysteries, ancient prophecies, and the profound meaning they hold for believers today. The mystery of Christmas, God with us. To understand Christmas, we must travel back over 2,000 years to a small town in the ancient land of Judea. It was a world longing for hope, where empires rose and fell, and ordinary people awaited a sign that love had not forgotten them. In the quiet village of Bethlehem, a child is born to Mary and Joseph, far from the trappings of royalty or wealth. This child, Christians believe, is Jesus, the long-awaited Messiah, foretold by prophets for centuries. Christmas is not simply a birthday party for a revered teacher or spiritual leader. At its core, it is a celebration of the Incarnation, the breathtaking claim that God Himself entered human history, taking on flesh and walking among us. As the Gospel of John proclaims, the Word became flesh and made His dwelling among us. For Christians, this is not a distant deity, aloof and unreachable, but Emmanuel, God with us. The birth in the manger is a divine embrace of humanity's joys and sorrows, a sign that the Creator cares intimately for creation. The Nativity story, with shepherds under starry skies and wise men journeying from afar, is more than just a tale for children. It is a message that hope is born in the most unexpected places, that the divine chooses humility over grandeur, vulnerability over might. Christmas, then, is a festival of wonder and awe, inviting us to see the sacred in the ordinary and the extraordinary love that breaks into our world. The meaning of Easter, death defeated, life restored. If Christmas is the beginning of the story, Easter is its dramatic climax. The Christian faith stands or falls on the events commemorated at Easter. In the heart of spring, as the world awakens with new life, Christians remember the central mystery at the core of their belief, the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. The journey to Easter begins with sorrow. Jesus betrayed by a friend, condemned by authorities, and crucified outside the city walls. It is a story of injustice, pain, and apparent defeat. But in the darkest hour, Christians find the seeds of hope. The cross, a symbol of suffering and shame, becomes the sign of sacrificial love. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. Jesus' crucifixion is understood as the ultimate act of love, offering forgiveness and reconciliation to a broken world. But Easter does not end at the cross. 3 days later, the tomb is found empty. The risen Christ appears to His followers, dispelling fear and despair. His resurrection is not a mere metaphor or comforting legend, but for Christians, the literal triumph of life over death, good over evil, and hope over hopelessness. Easter is the victory that assures believers that suffering and death do not have the final word. It is the dawn that follows the longest night, rooted in ancient prophecy and divine promise. Both Christmas and Easter are woven into the tapestry of ancient prophecy and spiritual longing. Centuries before Jesus' birth, Hebrew prophets spoke of a child to be born, a servant who would bear the world's pain, a redeemer who would restore what was lost. Christians see in Jesus the fulfillment of these hopes, one who bridges heaven and earth, who brings light where there is darkness. The celebrations themselves echo ancient patterns. Christmas draws on the symbolism of light in winter's darkness, while Easter resonates with the rebirth of spring and the promise of new beginnings. The timing and rituals speak to something deep in the human soul, a desire to remember, to give thanks, and to find meaning in the story of God's love unfolding in history. More than holidays, the heart of Christian faith. For many, Christmas and Easter are times of family gathering, special meals, and joyful traditions. But for Christians, these festivals are much more than cultural holidays. They are moments to pause and remember the great mystery at the heart of their faith, that God enters our world, shares our struggles, and offers the hope of life beyond death. At Christmas, Christians remember that no heart is too humble, no life too ordinary for the touch of the divine. At Easter, they celebrate the assurance that no darkness is so deep that it cannot be overcome by the light of Christ's resurrection. These celebrations are not just about the past, but about the present and the future. an invitation to live with hope, love, and faith in every season. The transforming power of the story. The story of Christmas and Easter is not just a set of ancient events, but a living reality for believers today. It is a source of comfort in sorrow, joy in celebration, and strength in the face of life's challenges. The birth in Bethlehem and the empty tomb in Jerusalem are reminders that the divine is always near, working in ways seen and unseen. For Christians, these celebrations are not just about what happened, but what is happening now. The continuing presence of Christ in the world, the ongoing call to love and serve others, and the promise that, even when all seems lost, hope remains. A universal invitation. Whether you are a lifelong believer, a seeker, or simply curious, the mysteries of Christmas and Easter invite everyone to reflect on life's deepest questions. Is there hope? Does love triumph? Can new beginnings emerge from the ashes of despair? The Christian answer, celebrated in these festivals, is a resounding yes. At Christmas, the invitation is to welcome the light into your life, to see the world with new eyes, and to embrace the wonder of God's closeness. At Easter, the invitation is to let go of fear, to trust that even when the night is darkest, the dawn is coming, to believe in the possibility of transformation, redemption, and new life. Continuing the journey. As the seasons turn and the years pass, Christmas and Easter remain fixed points on the calendar, not just as reminders of what once was, but as beacons guiding the way forward. They are opportunities to reconnect with faith, to gather with others in celebration, and to remember the story that shapes not only individual lives, but the course of human history. So why do Christians celebrate Christmas and Easter? Because in these moments, the story of God's love becomes real, tangible, and present. Because hope is needed now as much as ever. Because the message of the manger and the empty tomb is not just for the past, but for today and for you. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the heart of Christmas and Easter. We'd love to hear your thoughts. What do these celebrations mean to you? Share your reflections in the comments below. If you found this video inspiring, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Faith in Life for more stories that explore the mysteries of faith, the beauty of tradition, and the hope that sustains us all. Until next time, may you walk in light, love, and peace.